Oh, wait a second.
Can you kill?
Alright, Kayron.
Here we
Oh my god! What is that?
That's it. She can't come back.
That's it, the Kayron just completely crushed him.
That right there is the epic conclusion to the first match of this year's E7WC main stages. What you just saw right there is a super high damage Kayron, a unit that's set to be obsolete, dead, outdated, completely mocking the floor with Apocalypse, a player that's constantly a top 5 finisher at the end of each RTA season, and the guy that did it to him, it's a little known man who goes by the name Poopest. Hey guys, hope everyone enjoyed their final week of the RTA season. It's Uncle Valk here, and today I want to tell you guys the story of a guy that everybody seems to have fallen in love with. Poopest. I got a lot of feedback from the last videos for this series, and it seems a lot of people want to see a dominating draft from the second pick position. I can't think of a better match than when my guildmate Poopest beat Apocalypse in the first round of this year's E7WC, so let's just get right into it. Before we talk about the match, it's important to understand how we even got to this point. We need to start from the beginning. Poopest is a little known player whom over the past year has seen himself on the come up along the likes of Light and Kukerbat as a very consistent top 30 player, even finishing number 8 during the qualifying ladder. He cruised his way through the global regional qualifiers, even going through a nail biter series versus Lunel where he barely came out on top, punching his ticket into the E7WC main stages, where he would have to face off versus Asia servers Apocalypse, one of the favorites to win the whole tournament, and clearly the fastest account remaining left in Worlds. This is important because Poopest is normally an extremely aggressive player. Playing versus someone who is clearly faster will force him to take some alternative adaptations, maybe a little bit more defensive. So in game 1, right away we saw Apocalypse ban out Zio, wanting to secure that speed advantage. Both players banning out Navy Captain Landy, as she is the newest demon in the realm, and Poopest specifically also removes Lua, as playing versus a faster player's Lua is nearly a death sentence. So definitely can't have that. Apocalypse snags a quick first Conqueror Lilius, forcing Poopest to adopt a tank down draft featuring a Ravi, splitting 2 first games 1 per piece. In game 3, a very similar draft broke down and it ended with our fecal friend taking game 3 with a Solitaria rope draft, getting a few clutch stuns and stealing game 3 by pouring stuns from the skies and securing that win, which leads us into the game. Coming into this game 4, the pre-bans had rolled over from all 3 previous matches, giving us a ban of ML Landy, Zio, Lua, Alencia, Angel of Light, Ed, Lionheart Sermia, Karina, and Apocalypse Ravi. That's 9 total units out of play. Apocalypse, the player this time, once again snags the quick first pick Conqueror Lilius. With Navy Captain Landy out, there is no better unit in the game, especially on first pick. Especially when you know you're that fast, you're that guy, you're him. Her Vigor buff is undeniable value, especially when you go first turn, and the 1-turn buff reduction goes perfectly through immunity set, pairs perfectly with the debuff she brings. Poopest now needs to respond with a really strong draft, but he's missing Apocalypse Ravi. This is the unit this time, not the player. Key piece of the puzzle that helped him put together his tank down composition that got him that win in game 1 and game 3. So now he needs to craft a completely new strategy in 60 seconds. So let's look at the pre-bans. What does that give us? With the exception of Alencia, which takes out HP scaling units with injury, what did the rest of these heroes have in common? Zio, ML Landy, Lionheart, AOL, Ed, Karina, and a Ravi. Oh yeah, that's right. These are all pieces that to some degree go in anti-cleave. Every single one of these can be played as an anti-cleave unit, with some of them being the best, for example, at anti-cleave. So with that realization, our crappy companion can now commit Ran and Aiden, 2 really fast and aggressive units, with Aiden being a really good anchor for many cleave compositions, and anchor being a unit that, when all else goes wrong, they can try to 1v1, 1v2, whatever is left of the opponent's team. Although Apocalypse is a faster player here, but knowing your opponent is half the battle, and the key here is that no matter how much faster Apocalypse is, he's not going to be able to overcome a 8 speed base speed deficit, as Rand's base speed is 129 and Conqueror Lilius is 121. Even if he has a faster gear, Poopest, no matter what, on Rand will be able to take first turn. And this gives Poopest turn 1 since red side does not have Zeo to contest the Rand. Now Aiden comes naturally as her S2 counterattack is a huge landmine for not only any aggressive, counter-aggressive strategies, it also protects her very squishy team, preventing Apocalypse to trying to race back. And on top of that, no Karina to tank it out and outvalue the Aiden. The entire series, Poopest was playing slow, beating out his opponent on the slow and steady tank down playstyle. All of the setup from the previous round allow him to just turn on the all-out aggression, pedal to the metal. While Apocalypse is faster and potentially better at playing aggressive drafts, he was put on the back foot trying to find a comfort zone with the Conqueror Lilius pick, losing out the opportunity to take the fastest unit in a game in a scenario where the best anti-aggression units are now all banned. Sensing his lack of option to fight the aggression, Apocalypse is going to pick up Destina, which is still a great option, since she is able to revive, cleanse, and heal. Yulha as a tank can absorb a lot of damage, and then with her missing HP, revenge kill a low health unit like Aiden, for example. Support, tank. That opening telegraphs a classic tank down. And now both of his 4 to 5 pick need to be DPS units. Otherwise, a ban would take out all of the damage from his draft, forcing one of the best aggressive players in the world to go defensive. That was Poopest's gambit all along. And as his opponent is castling up, continuing to cleave would be like running full force into a wall. If he continued on that trajectory and commits to the cleave, he would go splat right up against said wall. So with that information, Meteor Koeric becomes the best in slot support to push tempo and damage with his combat readiness and attack buff versus the Destina, while Spectre Tenebrious damage can outscale Destina's sustain and the stealth effect protects her from the Yulha. So right side now needs to lock in 2 hard carry DPS, and they both need the following. They must have AoE skills, ideally not die instantly to a defense break, and has either increased hit chance or doesn't rely on critical hits, as those are the best ways to fight against this Aiden. Briar Witch is the first pick. She fits all 3 categories naturally, as well as a Senya. I think those are 2 fine choices. Coming back to the side of our Dung Duelist, he has 1 pick left in the tank. Now, any other player would make their pick and choose a ban, but there is actually a more efficient way to round out a draft as a second pick player. Now, this is more honest, but it'll always yield you something very, very valuable. A very low risk, medium reward maneuver, if you will. Since you hold the ace in the hole in the last pick, you can decide on the more annoying unit to ban first, and then pick a unit that will perfectly counter your opponent's entire team. Usually this method guarantees your last pick unit would be banned. A move that often works, is valuable, but is deemed a little bit too honest. Now in the case of Poopest, the Briar Witch definitely has to go, as the first 3 unit presents no real threat, and there are 2 immunity providers in the draft, which can buy a lot of time versus the Senya carry. Since the Briar Witch is usually a little slower than the Meteor as well, her defense break will not only do irreparable damage, should she hit Guiding Light, Poopest only has 1 AoE to flush her out of that stealth, and it will get used up turn 1. Now, if we take Briar Witch out of the equation, what units can we pick that will let us absolutely mop up these 4 units? There are a few, and you can do this thought exercise here, but let's see what Poopest goes for. And he plops a big one in the form of the Fire Kayron, a unit that's set to be worse and worse each update. Weird spot to pick him too, as he's normally considered an anti-cleave unit on counterattack, so dropping a unit like this is normally reliant on counterattack isn't a great strategy versus something like Yulha, Destina, and even a Senya. A very slow and steady strategy, since they're not going to take a lot of turns, so not a lot of counterattacks will come through. And just look at the bans. Apocalypse doesn't even respect the Kayron. He bans the Mediator, which tells me his plan is to use the Lilius to take a turn off the immunity off of the Rand, stabilizing the damage with Destina, and then once the units lose their immunity, take over the game on the Senya. Poopest here, of course, bans out Briarwitch, completing his strategy and managing to hold on to that Kayron pick. And let's see this match play out.
All
Now
right, we
Kayron
go
is
in.
relatively safe here.
Uh-huh.
This could be pretty cool because he gets the free immunity from this Ran. There's no way for them to really strip it on Apocalypse side, and it is fire into Grass Unit right there into Senya. Ooh, RNL procs Brown and Luciella. He gets an extra turn as well. 2 extra turns.
Yeah, I think that Briarwitch ban very smart inside of Poopest.
He's thinking about Soulburn, but he's like, nah.
It's a blade. Some
Ooh,
misses.
triple miss.
Uh-huh. Elemental
This is going to
disadvantage.
do a lot of damage. Now, this is going to sound a little nerdy, but something to keep in mind is Kayron actually has a higher chance to hit this Senya because he's fire into Grass Unit than some of these other units do. So he only has a 35% chance to not crit when he attacks him.
You say this is gonna sound nerdy?
Wish to live.
I love those kind of statistics, Jenna. Keep them flowing.
Numbers
Hey,
are
it's
stats.
important to know.
Don't be afraid.
Here we go.
off
Provoke
the
on
brain.
that Ran.
Beast of the West.
Yeah, Destina healing,
Beast of the West
Celia's
channel.
back up.
Fit to kiss my feet.
Okay.
Is he just going to throw it into them Malilius here?
Oh. Yeah, plenty of damage.
So, right?
You disgust
Yep.
me.
Doesn't really do too much though.
Yeah, I'm surprised because considering I think unless it's a different Silius, this is a non-damage mitigation artifact.
So
Well, we
I
didn't
will
have
say
attack
this
up.
though, this is pretty big. It's a very aggressive team out of Poopest side,
you
but
ready?
Apocalypse has taken no damage on 3 of his units. They're
Uh-huh.
sitting
Silius also
pretty.
gained health there off that Garden Ice Crystals from the Odd in S1.
Yeah.
There we go. Senya big skill 3.
All right, this could be pretty huge.
Oh, lots of
So
provoke.
much damage.
Everything disappears.
And you see, the thing here is Senya is really safe into this Aiden, and also pretty safe into Spectre Tenebria right now, especially with that mischance. There's no cleanses coming out of Poopest side.
Want to see the damage here from the Kayron skill 3.
Oh, it's gonna hit really hard. Yep, she's gone.
Wind Rider.
Wind
on top of
Rider.
Get in my
Wow.
way.
We're all in on the game plan. Gonna
So
get a
he's
damage
just
boost plus the stealth.
He's just a super big damage
In the
Kayron.
light's name.
He's gonna hit so hard on this next turn. If he Soulburns the skill 1, he's gonna hit like a truck.
Don't worry, I'm here.
I
Can
think
wait
what,
that Ran between the Yulhan and the Destina. This Ran's almost dead too.
yeah, I feel almost as though Poopest wants to do as much damage as possible to this Yolha, right? So that the Kayron can finish her off. Oh no, actually
Putting
goes
pressure on the
to
Destina.
Destina
Big
first.
Half her
damage.
health bar.
Enemies approach.
Hits the Destina 2.
Yeah, hits the Destina, but does miss the Senya. Takes some free damage. Ooh, no provoke.
Show me what you
This
can
Rand does have his skill 2 and skill 3 up right now. But the
I
thing
wonder
is,
if
if
Apocalypse
he
could have went to the
misses-
odd in there, right? With the skill 2 being down, would have been big damage. If he's on
Possibly.
the Spear of a New Dawn.
He wanted to stop this Rand from being able to get the extra turn, though. Oh my god,
Some more
so much free damage.
damage
to
onto
dust.
Destina.
That was.
Oh, wait a second.
Can you kill?
Alright, Kayron.
Here we.
Oh my god! Look at that!
I'll take down anyone
That's it.
who interferes.
She can't come back.
That's it, the Kayron just completely crushed him!
Whether you win or lose.
Maybe if
Just
everything
a
misses, she's on live stream.
Oh, Poopest has his hands off the device.
Yeah, the full damage Kayron!
Wait. Can he lifesteal?
As long as I have
No
something to
way.
protect,
It's
I'm
over.
Against
Look at
Kayron
Kayron.
and
He's
Destina?
still
He's not giving up. He's not giving up. He's
Oh,
out of
then that's
there.
gonna
My
be it.
God.
Oh my god.
Poopest with a 3-1
Poopest.
score.
And with that, our dumpy defender flushes his opponent out of the match and moves himself onto the next round. Oh, through clever reads in the picks and ban phase, knowing the matchups, and a surprisingly good pocket pick, Poopest secures himself a very aggressive win, not only versus a faster player, but from the second pick position as well, which nestles him very comfortably into the next round of this year's E7WC. And honestly, that second pick has been such a big pain point for a lot of players at this year's E7WC with this format in particular. And I hope this video gives you guys some good ideas on how to draft from a second pick position, but also cleverly take advantage of pre-bans to enable a lot of very fun tech picks that can a lot of times take over matches when they come out late in the draft. That's going to be it for this video. If you enjoyed, make sure to give the video a like and a subscribe, and I'll hope to see you guys in the next video where we talk about our next guy, Winter Wish. See ya.